The island of Crete in the year 1250 BCE stood as the pinnacle of the Minoan civilization, a kingdom of vast palaces, seafaring dominance, and whispered horrors. At its heart lay Knossos, a city adorned with murals of crimson and gold, depicting deities and beasts alike. The Minoans were unmatched in artistry and architecture, yet their most infamous legacy was not built of stone. It was the Labyrinth, an underground maze designed to house a nightmare. It was said that King Minos, favored by the gods, kept a monstrous secret. Deep beneath the palace, in an endless twisting maze built by the genius craftsman Daedalus, lurked a being of two natures, the Minotaur. Some claimed it was a punishment from the gods. Others whispered that it was the offspring of a terrible union between the queen and a sacred white bull sent by Poseidon. Whatever the truth, one thing was certain: none who entered the labyrinth ever returned. For years, Athens paid tribute to Crete, sending warriors and condemned criminals as sacrifices. They would be led into the maze, left to wander in darkness, until the beast found them. It was an execution without mercy. But this year, the tribute had changed. This year, warriors came not as sacrifices, but as hunters. A great black ship, carved with the likeness of a Gorgon's head, arrived at the shores of Crete. On board were 10 of Greece's most elite warriors, seasoned fighters, each bearing scars from battles against Thracian raiders, Trojan invaders, and Athenian rebellions. Their leader was Damasos of Sparta, a hardened general with a deep vendetta against the gods. The warriors disembarked in silence, met with the cold gaze of Minoan guards. King Minos had little faith in their success but allowed them passage into the depths regardless. The labyrinth's great bronze doors creaked open, revealing only darkness beyond. The warriors exchanged solemn nods before stepping inside, torches flickering against the cold stone walls. They would face the beast or die trying. High above Crete, something else watched. A ship, sleek and nearly invisible, hovered above the island, observing the humans below. Inside, a lone warrior sat, cloaked in the glow of red runes. He was no man. He was Yacha, a hunter, a god among killers. This was the Spartan predator, an elite member of a highly disciplined clan of Yacha that revered battle above all else. Unlike the berserkers who sought mindless slaughter or the Darkblade clan who worshipped the hunt as religion, the Spartan predators held a different code. Only the strong deserve to be hunted, and only the greatest warriors are worthy trophies. The rumors of a man-beast lurking within an underground labyrinth had reached him across the stars, a creature that devoured warriors. This was a hunt worthy of a Spartan. The warriors pressed deeper into the labyrinth, their torches revealing walls lined with ancient symbols and carvings of bulls. The air was damp, thick with the stench of old blood and decay. Then they saw them. Bones. Piles of them. Some were human, others were not. Skulls that bore the unmistakable shape of a bull, yet grotesquely deformed, as if the creature had once been something else. "The gods have cursed this place," whispered Argyros, a Mycenaean warrior. "No," Damasos replied. "They have abandoned it." A sound echoed through the halls, a low, rumbling breath. Then, boom! The walls shook. Dust rained from the ceiling. Heavy footsteps thundered in the distance, growing closer. The beast had awakened. The warriors gripped their swords as two glowing eyes appeared in the darkness. From the shadows, the Minotaur emerged. 9 feet tall, its massive body a grotesque fusion of man and beast. Thick, blackened horns curled from its monstrous head, its nostrils flaring like a raging bull. Its skin was a patchwork of old scars and fresh wounds, proof that the beast had endured years of combat. Then, it charged. It was a storm of muscle and fury, striking with a force that sent men flying, Damasos barely rolled aside, his sword slashing at the beast's leg, but it did little more than anger it. Another warrior, Theron, tried to stab it in the side. Snap. The Minotaur's hand crushed his skull like an overripe fruit. The remaining warriors fought bravely, swords clashed against bone and flesh, spears pierced its hide. But the Minotaur did not fall. It lifted one man and tore him in half. Another was gored on its horns. And then, a new presence entered the fight. The predator decloaked, stepping forward with silent precision, its wrist blades extended, gleaming in the firelight. The Minotaur turned, sniffing the air. It could sense something different. For the first time in its life, it hesitated. A thunderous roar shook the labyrinth as the Minotaur charged, hooves pounding against the stone. The Spartan predator sidestepped with inhuman speed, its plasma caster firing a direct hit into the beast's chest. The Minotaur staggered, but did not fall. With terrifying strength, it grabbed the predator and hurled it into a stone pillar. The Yacha rolled to its feet, activating its combi stick just as the Minotaur's stone axe came crashing down, barely missing its skull. Sparks flew as blades clashed against horns. The predator struck fast, slicing deep into the Minotaur's shoulder, black blood spraying the floor. The beast bellowed in fury, countering with a vicious charge, slamming the predator into the wall. The Yacha barely recovered in time to unleash its smart disc, whirling death. The disc severed the Minotaur's arm in a spray of dark ichor. The beast howled in agony, but instead of retreating, it lunged with raw desperation, attempting to gore the Yacha with its jagged horns. The predator ducked and slashed, carving into its exposed ribs. Still, the Minotaur refused to fall. It roared, delivering a crippling punch that sent the predator sprawling. But the Yacha was faster. In a single, brutal motion, it leaped onto the Minotaur's back, plunging its wrist blades deep into its thick neck. The beast thrashed violently, hooves scraping against stone, choking on its own blood. Its roars turned to gurgles. Finally, with a slow, shuddering breath, it collapsed to its knees. With one brutal motion, the predator ripped its skull from its body, lifting it high in triumph. The hunt was over. Damasos, the last surviving warrior, lay wounded among the ruins. He watched as the alien warrior lifted the Minotaur's skull in victory. The predator turned to him, but did not kill him. Instead, it nodded and vanished into the shadows. By dawn, the legend would be rewritten. The Greeks would say that a hero named Theseus slew the beast. But the truth? The Minotaur was not slain by man. It was hunted by something far older, far deadlier.